Welcome back to the Gearbox F1 podcast.
Yeah.
We are back
Let's
in
go.
the studio, ladies and gentlemen. Back with the Miami GP predictions. Sorry about our little hiatus there. We're back, so we are here for the Miami Grand Prix. So without further ado, as it is a sprint weekend, we'll do the sprint pole, sprint podium, and then, as usual, the pole position, top 10, and our Gearbox gobsmacking predictions. Right,
Yep.
without further ado, I shall hand over to Kieran, as usual, for his sprint pole.
So, my sprint pole is a driver that has won this year.
Yep.
He has won here.
Right here.
My sprint pole is Lando Norris.
Lando Norris, right? Decent
Yeah.
shout there.
I think McLaren's is going to keep up with their good form.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have put Piastri here, but I think Lando's going to want to come to this race holding that top spot at this track.
Yeah.
Obviously won here last year for his first win.
Yeah.
I think he's going to come out here pretty confident with this track, and I think the car's going to give him confidence, and I think he's just going to get a sprint.
Yeah. Interesting. Interesting. I have also... No, sorry, looking on the wrong bit. I have gone for the McLaren drive, but I've gone for the Aussie side of the garage. I've gone for Oscar Piastri. Strong race in Saudi Arabia. Strong race even in Bahrain.
Yeah.
I think he will carry that on to Miami, especially in the sprint race. We'll get to the race later on. I think Piastri's he has that pace in him. He has the confidence. The car's a rocket ship. He's a talented driver. I see nothing less than a sprint pole for him.
Yeah.
So yeah, both come from McLaren drivers for our sprint poles.
Yeah.
We shall stick with me for my first step of the podium in the sprint, and I've gone for George Russell.
Ooh.
I've gone for George Russell just snatching the podium in the sprint here. I think Mercedes will be back to sort of quickness. Maybe Russell actually challenging the two McLarens. Even though obviously the McLaren is probably a mile ahead. But Mercedes has shown great pace to fight with the McLaren. Sorry, so I just see Russell maybe being maybe a couple of seconds back off the McLarens, but still sort of in the ballpark there.
My person on the top step of the sprint podium is Oscar Piastri.
Ooh.
I think the McLarens are just going to be really fast, but I think Oscar Piastri is going to get third in the sprint. I think he's going to have a solid weekend, but I don't think he's going to be as sort of maybe confident, if you will, this weekend. But obviously he's coming into this with quite high spirits. 3 race wins this season so far.
Yep.
And have all been very good wins. Saudi Arabia was a very good drive from him. But yeah, unfortunately, I don't think he's going to get the sprint win.
Yeah.
But I do think he's going to get on that podium.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. So my my SB2 is Lando Norris.
Right.
I've got Lando Norris second. Not sort of really much to sort of say really. More gut than anything else. I think he'll just be the second McLaren driver, especially in the sprint. I just think the McLarens will be ahead.
Yeah.
As I said, by about 2 seconds to Russell. I think it'll be a calm, collected race from both the McLaren drivers. I don't think they'll be squabbling or anything. And I just think Lando Norris would just be the P2 this sprint.
Yeah,
I don't think there's sort of just a normal probably normal sort of no crashing or no disruption sprint. So yeah.
My SP2 is Max Verstappen.
Max, ooh, decent. Okay. Interesting.
Obviously another driver that's won in Miami.
Yeah.
It's only him and Lando, isn't it? Really.
Yeah. Him and Lando.
But yeah, I think it's gonna be a good sprint. I think. But I don't think Verstappen's gonna quite bring the race, sprint win.
Yeah.
But I do think it could be quite close.
Yeah.
And so I've got him SP2 for that reason, middle step of the podium.
Interesting. So winning the sprint, probably obvious from what I was saying before, I've got Oscar Piastri.
Yeah.
As I said, for Lando Norris, not much to add. McLaren will be ahead, and it would just be Oscar Piastri, just a calm sprint to the finish. So, so that sort of rounds up my sprint podium there.
Well, yeah, sort of on the same wavelength of no surprise. I've got Lando Norris.
Yep.
Obviously, I've got him on pole, and I just think it's a sprint race. This is just going to be like, just he starts from pole, finishes first. Just simple race for him.
Yeah.
There could be some challenges from Verstappen, but it was just good that Lando could just end up dominating this weekend.
Yeah.
He wraps up my sprint podium.
Nice. So we shall move on to the race now.
Race poll.
Do you want me to say my race poll?
Yeah.
I shall say my race poll. My pole position for the Miami Grand Prix 2025 is George Russell.
Ooh.
I have gone for George Russell. He's really good at qualifying.
Yeah.
I think he gets the car right. He can definitely fight for pole. I think at any track, because that Merc seems pretty quick. Especially in the hands of George Russell. I mean, Kimi Antonelli's not doing too far off him. I think, obviously, was it... No, so he got P7, sorry, I'm just looking back. So he got P7 in Saudi Arabia and just finished out some points in Bahrain. But obviously, I think that was more strategy.
Yeah.
Anything else. So both Mercedes drivers are doing good. Back to George Russell. I just think he's just going to grab a surprise pole.
Yeah.
I don't think it's any more than that. I don't think he's going to have the raw pace. I just think he might have like a crack in like sector, I don't know, like a crack in sector 3. I think he would grab just about snatch pole from the McLarens. So yeah, George Russell is my pole position.
And I didn't lie when I just said Norris is going to dominate, because I've also got him as my race pole.
Ooh, interesting.
I just think he's going to come out this. He knows that he's not at the top of the driver standings anymore.
Yep.
So he's going to want to reclaim that, and I just think he's going to come out with a belter of a lap.
Yeah.
And just comfortably take that pole position.
We'll stick with you for your P10.
My P10 is a rookie.
Yep.
He drives for Haas. For P10, I've got Ollie Behrman.
Interesting. Very interesting indeed.
Again, the Haas is looking a solid team.
Yeah, most certainly.
It genuinely seems like a mid-table team that could score points.
Yeah.
Yeah, Behrman. I don't think he's going to get much, like, he's not going to get more than a point in 10.
Yeah.
But I do feel like my gobsmacking prediction will help with Behrman getting this point.
Yeah.
We'll get to that, obviously, near the end. But yeah, Ollie Behrman, P10.
So, I've just changed my P10 because I also went for Ollie Behrman. And because it's so close in sort of the standings, I think we're on 28 points each, actually.
Yeah.
I've changed my P10.
Oh.
I've gone for another rookie. This man being Isaac Hadjar.
Ooh.
I think Hadjar will scrape a P10. I didn't really think this through. It would just came to head.
He's shown some pace in races.
Generally, because I said went for Ollie Behrman for the exactly same reasons as you. As I said, I'm competitive, so I shall not go for the same rookie. I shall quickly change it, and I would just Isaac Hadjar popped up, so that's my only reason for him to be P10.
My P9.
Yep.
Is Alexander Albon.
Interesting.
Albono. I think Williams as a team is going to show, honestly, a reasonable amount of pace this week.
Yeah.
So I think Albon, obviously he knows a Williams car.
Yeah.
I don't know how he fares at this track. Probably like okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've gone for Alex Albon in P9, just ahead of Behrman.
Yeah.
But I think his will also be helped by my gobsmacking prediction.
Right, interesting. So, my P9 might come as a shock to you, actually, this P9. I've got Kimi Antonelli down in P9.
Right, okay.
mainly for the same reason as I quickly covered Bahrain strategy. I don't know, or it might have been a pit stop. I can't remember Bahrain off the top of my head. I just think maybe he's going to show a lot of pace, as he usually does. I just think maybe because I have his teammates high, he's got pole, they might be focusing on George a bit more.
Yeah.
And unfortunately I don't want to say screw over Antonelli, because
he knows he's a second driver.
Yeah. But because I don't think they would I don't think they would like deliberately screw him over. I think he might just have an unfortunate slow stop.
Yeah.
That puts him on a sort of around the P12 region, and he has to climb back.
Yeah.
And the only point he can climb back is the double points of P2. P2. So it's 2 points for P9.
That'd be impressive if he gets P2. Like,
it would be impressive. But unfortunately, I just think Antonelli, he's not going to have a stinker. He's just going to have an unlucky race. So P9 is Antonelli.
My P8 is the teammate of one of the two drivers I've already mentioned. Gone for Esteban Ocon in P8.
Oh, so he's going to be Ocon the ball today.
Yeah.
I'll probably use that joke.
Oh dear. Oh yeah, bye bye. See you later, fella. Yeah. Off you pop. Anyway, yeah, Esteban Ocon P8. I just think, I just think Haas is gonna be quite quick. Right, okay.
Back in now.
Yeah, you're allowed back in. You're allowed back in. Yeah, but no, I just think Haas are gonna be quite quick and score once again double points. Esteban Ocon. Albon finds himself in a Haas sandwich.
Ooh, interesting.
I mean, I wouldn't mind being a sandwich of Esteban.
Moving on from Ocon.
Yeah.
My P8 is Alex Albon. I shall be serious this time. I genuinely think Williams, as you said, are going to show a decent amount of pace. I don't think they'll be like P6 and beyond. I just think they'll be best of the rest. And they've got 25 points? Am I wrong with that?
Around there.
Around 25,
which
20
for Williams is a solid sum this early in the season.
I mean, I think it's been their best sort of start to a season since, I want to say 2013. I could be very wrong on that, actually.
Yeah. No, I've read something about it as the best start in a while for them.
But yeah, so I think they're going to continue their great start to the season.
They have 25 points.
25 points, thought so. They're going to continue their great start to the season with Alex Albon picking up 4 points in P8.
Yeah. So my P7 is the smooth operator himself, Carlos Sainz.
Yeah.
I just think, Williams showing some pace. I agree with you that obviously they're not going to be P6 or higher.
Yeah.
But I do think they're going to get P7. And yeah, P7.
Yeah. Interesting.
And yeah, score some good points. Obviously he finished 5th last year in Miami. So I think he's going to do sort of around that point, to be fair. 5th, 7th, not too bad, not too different.
Yeah.
And this is going to be a great race from Sainz, great race from Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Because I've also gone for Carlos Sainz in P7. For the exact same reason as Kieran, so we should just jump straight to his P7. I'm not going to bore you with the same.
Yeah.
Sort
My P6.
Yep.
Is.
Yep.
Yuki Tsunoda.
I
think he's honestly just gonna cook. Yeah, no, I think Yuki Tsunoda's gonna get P6. Just a gut feeling that he's gonna actually have a good race. Oh, because obviously he's in that Red Bull now.
Yeah.
And I actually think they're gonna give the second driver a decent car for once.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Interesting. So for my P6, I've got Lewis Hamilton. I just think he's not up to scratch with that car yet. So I think a P6 is just going to be all he can do, because I think the top 5 drivers are just going to be much quicker than him.
Yeah. No, absolutely. My P5.
Yeah.
Is Lewis Hamilton.
What the hell? Oh my god, no way.
So I think sort of as you said, he's not up to scratch. If he was, he could be fighting for podiums.
Yeah. I was like, hold on. No, you're not wrong.
But I think he's going to get a P5 for him when he's not 100% with the car.
Yeah.
It's still very solid.
That is very true.
Again, this is all his gut. This top 5 is just gut.
Is a gut feeling, nothing sort of.
To be fair, the last few just kind of made sense, but like most of this is just gut.
Yeah.
And I think Hamilton's going to have a decent performance. I think Ferrari's going to have a decent performance.
Yeah.
But yeah, Lewis Hamilton P5.
My P5 is Max Verstappen.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit low down.
Yeah.
You could argue. I don't know because I know he's really good round here.
He is.
Will the car be good round here? That is the question. Last year, for the first time since 2022, the Red Bull was not quick.
Yeah.
Verstappen was struggling with the car, and that was when Norris got his first win. Anyway, so I just think vibes, gut. Max Verstappen will be
immaculate vibes.
Anyway,
Bro's doing the LV advert.
No, I Max Verstappen P5.
Well, I have Max Verstappen in my P4.
That was so fruity.
for similar reasons, but I just think it's Verstappen in it.
True.
Like
true.
He's like he's not gonna get a podium.
Yeah.
But he's not gonna get 5th because that's Lewis. So
what the hell is this guy waffling about?
No, but no. I've got Verstappen P4. I think he's gonna do well, but I just think the car's gonna let him down a little bit.
Yeah. So at the end of the race, just to clarify, he's crossing the line 4th. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Just thought I'd clarify because I wasn't too sure if you just confirmed he was P4 yet.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Anyway, moving on before he loses his mind. My P4. Charles Leclerc will have a okay race.
Yeah.
I think Ferrari will be decent. I don't think they'll be sort of in the podium region.
Yeah.
I could be very wrong. If they have a special livery, who knows? Or we should probably will see a Charles Leclerc into the wall like 2022. So Charles Leclerc will be P4, outscore his teammate yet again. And yeah, just missing out on the podium, Charles Leclerc.
So,
yeah.
I have P3, my P3.
Yep.
Is Leclerc. Oscar Piastri Leclerc. Yes. No, yeah, I have Oscar Piastri P3.
Oscar Piastri P3? Ooh, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I just, for once, I do not think...
the people at McLaren.
The people at McLaren,
the
yes.
crew at McLaren.
Yes.
The drivers at McLaren.
Yes.
The team of McLaren.
There we go. I think this race is going to be a little bit of favouritism towards Lando.
Yeah.
I think the Piastri car could be a little... Because I think McLaren might have brought a few upgrades.
Oh, add a bit of spice.
Yes, but I think the spice is a little bit spicier on car number 4 than on car number 81.
Oh, that is splendid. That is gassed. I'm so gassed to be here, ladies and gentlemen.
So I think for that Piastri gets P3.
Yeah. Anyway, my P3 is also Oscar Piastri. Same reasons as Kieran. I just think maybe for the race, he falls a bit short from the top step of the podium, and I just maybe he has a strong car in the sprint, but maybe the race is a different sort of, I don't know, surface or temperature or something, and he doesn't fully gel with the car like he did in the sprint.
The track is wet.
Potentially. So yeah, Oscar Piastri is P3 for me.
My P2 is Charles Leclerc. I think he's going to improve from Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think his car's going to have a bit of pace. I think he could beat out Leclerc's McLaren. Barely though.
Yeah.
Wait, did I say Leclerc's?
Leclerc's P3. 2, yeah?
Yeah. Leclerc's P2, knocking out Piastri's McLaren.
Yeah.
Yeah. Barely, though. Sorry, in my head, I thought I said Leclerc's going to beat Leclerc's McLaren. I'm not okay today, guys. Anyway, yes. Charles Leclerc, P2, Monaco 2025. Yes. Thank you. Who's your P2, bro?
What? Let me just have a think what my P2 is, and I'll just let the audience try get the brains back together again. That was a whole lot of waffle from that fella over there in the corner. My P2 is my pole position, which is George Russell.
Fair enough.
I think he'll just miss out from P1, unfortunately. But yeah, a great sort of still a good race from George to get that P2. He's on the fly in this season as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, George Russell is P2 for me.
Probably no surprise by who I think is going to win the race. It's the man who got pole, man who got sprint pole, man who got the sprint win.
Yep.
Lando Norris just finishes his absolute wipe of this weekend.
Yeah. Interesting.
I think it's going to be quite a dominant race. And for once, he's actually going to win at Miami without being helped.
Yeah.
Well, it does help that he's in a rocket ship, I guess. But you know,
yeah, valid.
Yeah, you know what I mean. I think he's going to be quite a comfortable win for Norris, making it back-to-back wins in Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Well, my P1 is Lando Norris is my winner at Miami. My P1 is Lando Norris. I just think he will have a quick pace in the McLaren. And yeah, so that will round up our top 10.
Have you noticed something about my top 10? Should we quickly go through our top 10?
Okay, go
so I've got Behrman, Albon, Ocon, Sainz, Tsunoda, Hamilton, Verstappen, Piastri, Leclerc and Norris.
Hold on, where's Merck in this?
Well...
Okay, go on to your gobsmack.
My gobsmack prediction is that Mercedes will get a double DNF.
I'm gone again, guys. I'm going.
I think the two drivers will collide and make them both crash. I think they'll do an Alpine a few years ago.
So a driver from the top 4 teams, bar Yuki Tsunoda, will not make Q3 in the race quali.
Right.
This is obviously bar Yuki Tsunoda because that second Red Bull's dog shit. So I generally don't. He's probably going to get knocked out in Q2, probably. So no, I'm looking for the drivers of Lando Norris, Oscar Piastri, Charles Leclerc, Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen, George Russell and Kimi Antonelli. Those are your drivers to look out for. Hopefully I get 5 points and fly ahead of Kieran, because I probably am, because he hasn't got any Mercedes drivers in his top 10. He's been a bit of a clown, and fair play to him. But yes, so that quickly rounds up our Miami GP predictions. Sorry we've been all over the place.